Hi everyone! Today, we're going to talk about something that many of us struggle with but don't often realize: perfectionism. The constant drive to be flawless. But is perfectionism really helping us become better, or is it just a burden quietly wearing us down? Let's explore this together. Perfectionism is often associated with success, isn't it? Setting high goals, paying attention to detail, aiming for the best. These traits sound like strengths. But beneath the surface, perfectionism can lead to stress, self-doubt, and even burnout. Instead of making us better, it often leaves us feeling like we're never enough, no matter how much we achieve. Let's take a closer look. What exactly is perfectionism? It's not just about wanting to do well, it's about never feeling satisfied with yourself or your efforts. For example, imagine you complete a project and everyone is praising your work. But instead of feeling accomplished, you're fixated on one tiny flaw: I could have done that better. Or think about how much time you spend editing a photo before posting it on social media because it has to look perfect. Why do we do this? Because the fear of making mistakes or falling short is overwhelming, and that fear is at the core of perfectionism. Now, let's move on to recognizing the signs of perfectionism. If you find yourself constantly overanalyzing your actions, procrastinating on tasks because they need to be just right, or obsessing over small details, you might be caught in the perfectionism trap. For example, you have a presentation to prepare, but you're stuck at the starting point because you want everything to be flawless. This procrastination doesn't help, it only makes the process more stressful. Next, let's discuss how perfectionism affects us mentally and emotionally. One of its most harmful effects is a loss of self-confidence. The constant feeling of "I'm not good enough" can erode your self-esteem over time. Perfectionism also leads to burnout because you're always pushing yourself to meet impossible standards, leaving little room for rest or recovery. And let's not forget the anxiety it creates. When you're striving for perfection, the fear of failure becomes a constant companion. At this point, you might be wondering, why do we become perfectionists in the first place? Often, it starts in childhood. If you grew up in an environment where criticism was common or where only perfect results were celebrated, you might have developed this mindset as a coping mechanism. But it's not just childhood experiences. Society also plays a big role. Social media, for instance, bombards us with images of perfect lives. We see the highlights, vacations, achievements, flawless appearances, and start comparing ourselves, feeling like we're falling short. So, how can we break free from the cycle? This is where self-awareness and self-compassion come into play. The first step is to accept that making mistakes is normal. Mistakes don't define your worth, they're opportunities to learn and grow. For example, if you're working on a big project and something doesn't go as planned, remind yourself that it's not the end of the world. Mistakes are part of being human. Another powerful approach is to aim for good enough rather than perfection. Let me give you an example. If you're writing a report and find yourself obsessing over every detail, take a step back and ask, does this fulfill its purpose? If the answer is yes, then it's good enough. This mindset shift can free you from unnecessary stress. Here's another important tip: be kind to yourself. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. If that voice in your head keeps saying, "This isn't good enough," respond with, "I've done my best and that's enough." And don't underestimate the power of perspective when it comes to social media. Remember, what you see online is a carefully curated highlight reel, not the full story. Everyone has challenges and struggles, even if they're not posting about them. When you scroll through social media, remind yourself, this isn't the whole picture. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like this video, follow me for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you struggle with perfectionism? What challenges have you faced because of it? Before we wrap up, here's a question to reflect on. Is it more important to have everything in life be perfect, or to enjoy the journey, imperfections, and all? True success isn't about flawless results. It's about learning to love yourself along the way. Remember, you are valuable just as you are. Take care, and see you in the next video. Smiling face with smiling eyes.